Hello there, everyone. Deacon Phil here. Welcome back. So, are you ready for Christmas? I suspect by now that maybe all of the presents are bought, or at least not if all, well, then maybe at least most. The tree is trimmed, maybe even the food is purchased, and everyone in your family is eagerly waiting for Christmas. But are you really ready for Christmas? In these last few days before Christmas, I want to leave you with a few things to perhaps ponder. Christmas can be a time of great sadness or loneliness or pain for so many. It brings back memories of perhaps a time gone by when maybe we don't want to remember some things in our past. This is not only for others in our lives, but also for ourselves as well. And it has been one heck of a tough year, especially because, of course, the pandemic. We've lost people. Perhaps relationships have suffered because of it. And maybe even we've had a difficult employment situation. So I encourage you at this time of Christmas to be gentle with one another, and also to be gentle with ourselves. Cut ourselves some slack. We don't necessarily have to be the Superman that everybody would like us to be, but instead maybe we can just slow down a little bit and experience Christmas. But amid all of this, we can still celebrate Jesus' arrival with great joy. Remember what the angel said, "I have come to you with great joy," and that joy can be ours even amidst the struggles of our day-to-day life. I too want to propose to you a challenge, and I think it's, for me anyway, one of the central challenges of our faith, which is, what on earth do we do with a God who becomes human for us? When I think of the enormity of that statement, what do we do with a God who becomes human for us, it takes my breath away. God is not like any king, any queen, any person of power in all of history who lets go of his power, in this case, to take human form. And yet he does. And why? Well, quite simply, Jesus wanted to experience everything that we experience in our broken world, so that he could call us through this shared experience into relationship. And what does that mean? Well, that means that if you've ever been or are now lonely or nervous or depressed, so was Jesus. If you are betrayed and abandoned by friends, so was Jesus. If you felt the pang of loss of a loved one, so did Jesus. And he did all this to show us what true love really looks like. So what do we do with a God who becomes human for us? But what do we do with a God who becomes human for you? Well, that takes my breath away too, but maybe at a deeper level. The truth is that Jesus knows us by our names. He knows you and me by our names. So his coming to earth is a very personal, even an intimate arrival for us. Even when he comes in the midst of our limited and sinful and sometimes very confused lives. Jesus speaks to you and to me by your name. He forgives you by your name. He heals you by your name. He comforts you by your name. And all he wants at the end of it is for you to spend eternity in heaven. But sometimes, maybe, just maybe, we don't want enough of Jesus. Sometimes maybe we put him in a box, saved for Christmas and Easter and maybe a few Sunday masses throughout the year. Sometimes maybe we reach out to Jesus only when we need him, or only to ask things of him. But you know, our God isn't a genie in a bottle, but a God who cares for us, who wants to draw near to us in a relationship if only we let him. So what do we do with a God who was born for us and born for you and for me? But what do we do with a God who is born for us again, right now, in 2021? When you consider the manger, and hopefully you have a manger scene at home, when you consider the manger and you look and maybe you put yourself in that place to ask yourself, what was it like to be in the manger? That Jesus in the manger that you approach, what is in your heart as you approach Jesus there in the stable? What is in your heart? The good stuff and the not so good stuff, maybe even the bad stuff. What do you need right now to enter into relationship with Jesus, the King? Take your needs and everything that is in your heart and make those your gifts for Jesus, because you know Jesus needs nothing from us except our whole selves. Can we give him that this year? My prayer for us as we are turning the corner toward Christmas and in that last few days of Advent is that we can see God's infinite love for us in the babe in the manger and embrace him as he so desperately wants to embrace us. Have a blessed and Merry Christmas. See you next time.